Sky Design. We're based in Atlanta. And I have the pleasure of showing our proposal for the Augusta Gateway sculpture on Sand Bar Ferry Road, which we've titled Welcome with a Wave. The RFP was very descriptive in terms of the kind of elements and qualities that the sculpture really should emulate. And so we wanted to see how much we could really incorporate into a singular gesture, literally and figuratively, from concept to implementation. So one of the main drivers was Black ingenuity, and one of the foremost inventors is an individual named Marjorie Joyner, who at the turn of the 20th century developed the permanent wave machine, which was the precursor to a lot of salon technology to quickly and fast automate the wave process for processing natural hair. So that concept of ingenuity was a big driving force. Also, Augusta is a city on the river and has the beautiful Savannah River meandering through the city. So kind of melding these concepts of the wave of the hair, also a welcoming wave with the river, felt like a really beautiful concept that we wanted to emulate through our design. So what we have here is this unified, continuous sculptural gesture based on this waveform of natural hair that actually emerges from the landscape and kind of crescendos in a larger vertical movement, and then slowly descends back into the landscape. Our proposed materials are using stainless steel for an internal structure with aluminum paneling that actually is the surfaces of this continuous form. Now, what we're imagining the actual surface of this to be is a little bit to be established, in that our ambition for the actual piece is to really use this as a canvas for local artists. Quilting is a huge southern craft, something that we felt also very inspired by. So what we propose is establishing a loose criteria and getting some local artists to actually create the graphics that we could then engrave or route through this material. And the beautiful result of that integration of artwork is we would have within the surfaces of the sculpture to provide internal illumination. So at night, when you're passing by, you'll have this subtle glow effect where you would either have pattern, poetry, text, whatever the case may be for this future artwork, to actually be shown through light and material. We understood that lighting can't point right at people because of GDOT's restrictions. So this kind of subtle glow should really capitalize on the subtle nature of what this artwork eventually will be. In terms of some practical questions that I know I've heard in other presentations, what we imagine this to be mounted into the ground is actually embedding the footings at critical moments of the design. So the intention would not be to see concrete, but actually to have plant life kind of emerge and grow up to the structure itself. And the dimensions of the sculpture are about 100 feet long. At the height of the apex of this arch, it's 25 feet tall. And the paneling we've restricted to a maximum size of a 6-foot ribbon, so that way we can still exist within kind of standard manufacturing sheets of aluminum panel material, so we're not looking for oversized, specially made pieces. But yes, the intention here is that we wanted to mesh landscape with the rich cultural fabric of Augusta, and use this not only as an opportunity to celebrate the artistic endeavor of this project, but also as a platform for future local artists, the next Marjorie Joyner. So now that was probably quite a bit, but we have some process models just to show we not only dealt with sketch, but developing a model and making it physical. And here we have the most abstract model on the table, but understand that the material finish and the future graphics will be developed in tangent with, in parallel with future artists. So I'm happy to take any questions and help describe any other process. Yes?
So what will your process be for, if chosen, what would your process be for choosing the other artists that where their work is gonna be embedded into this work of art?
That's a great question. I think in terms of selecting the artists, we would lean into the Arts Council here, whether or not we select through local high schools or Augusta University. We would love to celebrate ambitious individuals that could use this not only as a platform to learn more technological processes from this kind of minimal complexity of the design, but also give them a really great portfolio piece. And yeah, I think that's kind of the greater ambition here. To kind of locate the areas of design, we would want to strategically place them throughout. There's kind of intimate moments based on the curvature of the sculpture itself. So if there's smaller pieces of poetry, maybe those could exist in really kind of intimate spots, as opposed to something that might have a larger graphic moment, which could really exist and inhabit the large arch form of which we did model loosely on the Augusta A from the city logo. So a little Easter egg for the city.
Thank you.
Eric, can you talk about your sketches, the panel farthest to the right?
This one?
Yeah, all those, what are you doing there?
So this actually was the beginning models. We were inspired by the permanent wave machine, the river itself. So we started with this kind of ambition to create something that felt very curvaceous and very natural in its kind of topography that we were creating. So the first idea was kind of unitizing this curve in terms of poles, and the poles could either be painted or have different kind of panelized features on those that kind of cascade. This version became a little bit more land art oriented, which is something that ended up kind of progressing through the design. But this was actually a representation of the straightening process, so something that felt very curvy and kind of converging into a really nice linear piece. But with this version, we also had the idea of incorporating local art in a kind of permanent manner by routing into the material and actually excavating patterns, so you don't need to worry about any chipping or things like that. And then as we kind of melded these two, we created this version, which resembles more closely our final model. We refined the geometry and 3D printed this version, and this is simply just an overhead shot of a rendering of the model, just to kind of show our work. Yes, Brenda?
I don't know why I'm so focused on the man with the lawnmower, but would he be mowing underneath the swoops?
Yes or no. I think I was kind of always envisioning this as, within a wildflower field, something that could feel very much a part of nature. And I think that this space could certainly feel manicured, or it could feel kind of untamed. And I think either could work with the ambition of the design, just emerging from the landscape, kind of bringing that as an element.
Okay, great, thank you. Any other questions? Is that a yes?
Number